Rev-Up office numbers are 572-0383 and 572-0215. Rev-Up St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night to our listeners and to our viewers in St. Lucia and across the globe, especially those of you on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, and also on DBS Television. Yeah, welcome to Hard Drive for today, Wednesday, the 28th of May. It's getting closer to the end of May, and then, Tony, we're hitting the month of June.
That's right. Good morning, everyone.
And you know, once upon a time, when we heard about the month of June, that never bothered us in any kind of way.
That's right.
Now,
Hurricane
season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, official start June 1st to November 30th. And now we're learning that you can also have devastating weather even after the official end of the hurricane season, as we know. Right? Remember Christmas Eve trough?
Oh, gosh. I will forever, ever remember that.
And I remember exactly where I was.
Me too.
What I was doing at that time there.
Me too.
I was heading to work at HTS. I left my home, as I usually do, like I say about 5-ish. Somewhere around there, heading to HDS, and for the newscast, and all of a sudden it just started raining, and the traffic was heavy. I said, "What's going on?"
Oh, you mean 7 p.m.?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was leaving my home as I normally do. Earlier to get there for at least an hour before.
Yes. I thought you were talking about early morning. I'm like, no, it didn't happen early morning.
Yeah, traffic was diverted and everything. I remember I went through La Panse, trying to get away from the traffic, thinking, pardon, I get stuck everywhere. Imagine, I left home like a little after 5, and I made it to the Derek Walcott Square probably at about quarter to 7.
What?
Quarter to 7. And I had to call the Springs. I said, Springs, I don't think I can make it, partner, because I was stuck on the Derek Walcott Square because the rain was just so heavy.
And that way just like kind of stopped traffic, that kind of thing?
Traffic was moving at a snail's pace. Imagine I left my house at 5 o'clock and I got to Derek Walcott Square at quarter to 7 and I realized I just wouldn't be able to make it. But here's the best part. I was supposed to start vacation leave the following day.
Really?
So I started a day earlier.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Andrew, I remember the day like it was yesterday. I swear to you. And that's a lot of years now, huh? Yeah.
So I told you what were you doing?
Home at that time? You're talking about like 5 o'clock, right? 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right, that's right.
I'm home, So, Andre, it was just like rain and rain and rain and rain and more rain. And it just was not stopping.
Exactly.
I'm like, but what's going on?
Christmas Eve.
That's
Christmas
right.
Eve.
Andre, just not stopping.
Yeah. So things have changed. As I said, Tony, remember when we were kids, June 1st would come, no big deal.
No big deal. Yeah,
no big deal.
That's right. Now there's a hurricane season for a full half a year. I ain't saying 6 months, half a year.
And remember, once upon a time, certain countries were not being hit by natural disasters at all.
Exactly.
Right? Nothing. Or if anything, very rarely.
Right.
Really. But nowadays, nobody's exempt.
Exactly.
What, boy?
Yeah.
Things have changed. Things have changed.
That's right.
So coming June 1st, folks, just in case you didn't know, or just a reminder, that is the official start of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. And this morning we have some predictions as far as that is concerned. We've been making predictions already. A number of weather forecasters have been weighing in. And they said it's going to be busy, but not as busy as last year because, the heat is what drives it. So they said there's a lot less heat, but still enough heat to create some activity.
So they're saying, according to what you just said, the heat, like for example, last year.
Remember last year? Off the charts. Right.
So you're saying the forecasters, they're saying it's not going to be that hot this year?
Yeah, exactly. The temperature, like what we had last year. Remember we were complaining all the time how hot it was.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it won't be as bad. Well, it hasn't been as bad this year. And it's true.
That is very, very true. That's why I'm like, oh, okay.
Yes.
But I thought you were saying it won't be as bad. So far, so good. I'm thinking, but we are just about to hit June, and somehow I'm not feeling that hot. Hey, it's hot, but
it's
not
hot.
as
That's
bad.
right.
And I'm thinking, boy, this year will be hot too, you know?
Mhm.
So it's good to hear them say that this year may not be as hot.
Yes, it's going to be busy, but not as devastating as last year.
Mhm.
But hey, Tony, all it takes is one.
That's right.
All it takes is one.
That's right.
And I keep remembering our Prime Minister, and he keeps saying it. All those gains that have been made under this current administration can be lost in just one system.
In a gypsy.
Exactly. Yeah, boy. Yes. All right.
How are you?
Yeah. I'm fine. Earlier this morning, we had a little situation at the studio which I had to go and attend, and I was explaining to Lotus, when you wear all these hats.
Yes.
You wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
Especially with our organization.
That's
so
right.
some things that you just need to attend to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tony. So you okay? You fine?
I'm all right.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
so let me
I'm
just
all right.
get into some stuff before we get into other things. Looking for a place to enjoy a memorable night with a special person or just a night with friends? Come on down to JJ's Paradise and indulge in our weekly specials. Monday and Thursday nights, steak night. Wednesday nights, that's tonight, folks. It's seafood night at JJ's. Come enjoy delicious meals in a relaxing atmosphere at JJ's Paradise in Marigo Bay. For reservations, please contact JJ at 721-7693. That's 721-7693. Again, 721-7693. And you know, Tony, I called that number yesterday just to see if I going to get a response.
Mhm.
I got a response right away.
Oh, right.
Yes.
All
721-7693. JJ's Paradise. So tonight, folks, it's seafood night. So all the seafood that you love to enjoy so much, go there and enjoy to your heart's delight.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Seafood night. So it's still every Wednesday night, huh?
Mhm.
Because I remember since we opened up, JJ has been with us and we've been talking about the seafood night for a while.
That's right. Okay, just a couple of little things, Tony. Again, and I did promise her I'll do this. Maybe
Silton?
For Silton, maybe until about next week.
Mhm.
Heartfelt plea for help for Cecil Benjamin. Cecil recently underwent life-saving surgery to have a pacemaker implanted in Martinique, and now she needs continued care and treatment to protect her life and health. Can you help? Well, if you can, make a donation at the Library Credit Union, Bridge Street, Castries, account number 56619. 56619. That's account number 56619 under the name Cecil Benjamin. That's the Library Credit Union on Bridge Street, Castries. So, as I said, if you can help, please ensure that you go and make the time to make the little deposit on behalf of Cecil, who needs the help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Let me just tell the listeners and the viewers whom we were supposed to be on DBS. I'm seeing one of the listeners, they just happened to turn this on, and I'm seeing one of the listeners says, good morning, Rev-Up, you are not on DBS.
A rude awakening.
Yes.
Okay. But remember, we don't normally broadcast on a Wednesday, but we were
Right.
told
That's right.
that because I think a cancellation of a program or something like
That's
that,
right.
that we'd be substituting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
maybe
perhaps-
maybe if they work things out.
Right.
Mm.
Or except if it's this message was sent at 12 past, which is just a short while ago, 2 minutes ago.
Mm.
So it seems as though we're still not on. Okay, the person is typing, so hopefully we're on right now.
Mhm. Okay. Well, we have enough sites.
Mhm.
We have
Yes.
enough sites.
Okay, we are now.
Oh, we are.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So the folks on DBS Television, welcome. It's great to have you. Great to have you.
Very much so. And I guess you see the folks are waiting, you know what I mean? Realizing that it's not there, they sent us a message right away.
Mhm.
So we do appreciate that very, very much. So DBS, yes, we know you are one of the more popular television stations around. So, hey, it's just great that you broadcast our hard drive live.
Tony, let's say good morning to Linda and her staff
Yes, that's right.
at DBS. So, Linda, good morning to you and your staff. Have yourself a great day. All right. Hope you enjoy listening and watching Hard Drive.
Yes.
Just a little house clearing, Tony. Thomas O'Bread Place, as always. Today, oh, by the way, Tony, I got you the two CMOS bruiser.
You did.
Yeah. I was here last night. I think maybe that's why I forgot to bring it to you. But I have them home. Yeah,
well
there's
refrigerated.
The peanut. It's in the refrigerator. There's the peanut flavor. I think that's a favorite of a lot of people.
Okay.
So make sure later today you come and check me.
I'm going to check you, and I'm going to hurt this.
All right. and it's safe to drink. There's no alcohol in that.
Yeah, that makes it even better. The listeners gonna love that. Some of them, like your Lucita. Lucita, good morning.
So Tony, yesterday I told you about she had the bouillon yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, and that tanya in that, and some of the vegetables and stuff there. Oh my gosh, Tony, that was tasting
But
so good.
You mentioned the tanya. What about the other stuff? I mean, tanya, the ground provisions.
Right.
So it's just the tanya?
Well, she had. Well, she put a little something else there because it's me. I got a little extra, something.
Because bouillon usually come with like the tanya, which I guess tanya maybe in season. If it's in season, Andre, boy, I love tanya. The tanyas and sometimes maybe a little
the dunklins.
Dunklins for sure. Then you might want to throw some green fig in there, potatoes, or whatever. The other stuff. So it didn't have none of those.
Well, I didn't get that for sure because I don't normally eat it anyway.
I'll tell you this: when you read it, all it spoke about was the tanya.
The tanya. Okay.
So just perhaps it's just.
And I'm cool with that.
Me too.
I'm cool with that. It was nice. Okay. It was nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a turkey bouillon. And the turkey was nice and soft. The meat was soft.
Love it when it's soft.
Wow. And sorry to say that, Tony, the bones, man, when you break through those bones.
You can actually break through the turkey bone?
Yeah, because remember I tell you it is nice and soft.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nice and soft. So that was just like going down nice. I wish I could swallow the bones.
Turkey wings, right?
Good stuff.
Most times it's the wing,
I don't think it was wings that she had there.
Because the legs are too big and too meaty, to put into anything else.
Well, brother man, all I know is how it was tasted.
Finger cut.
Finger cut it. That's it. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay, you told me you didn't really want one, so I didn't bother to bring it for you.
That's right.
So today at the Tomazo bread place, it's ground provision. I will stress again, that's the real food. The ground provisions, the saltfish, cucumber salad, tossed salad, and lentils. Okay, and by the way, Tony, the bouillon had lentils yesterday.
Right.
That's the real food, man. You know, in India, they eat almost everything, right? All their meals, it would include lentils.
Really?
They call lentils God food. Yes, in other words, that's what angels eat. So we do ourselves this disservice by not consuming those kinds of peas and beans and those kinds of things. Yeah, lentils. That's a big deal in India. It comes with almost everything they serve. There's lentils in there.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's high in protein, high in fiber, all kind of minerals and all kinds of things. It's a very, very, very good pea. So
it's a good pea.
Yeah, I indulge in that. And remember, it's high in fiber, so that makes your stool. When you go to the restroom, your stool is nice and soft. Man, boy, you can't go wrong.
I'll have to try.
So don't forget ground provisions. Again, Tony, the ground provisions that has fiber in it. It's fiber. It's not like when you people say, oh, it's starchy or anything. No, there's fiber in the thing, so the body is able to manage the thing a lot better than when you eat the mac and cheese. Okay, so that's the way it works. Once you see there's fiber in there, you're good to go. That's what they call gut health.
Mac and cheese. That's my favorite fruit. You just dissing my favorite fruit there.
Go and enjoy it to your heart's delight. you know she caters for people like you as well.
Of course.
You can get all the other stuff there.
That's right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying this is the real food. And solutions, I would encourage you to eat real food. Eat real food.
Good, very good.
Yeah, because it's good for your health, right? It's good for everything, and especially the gut health, which a lot of us have issues. When I say issues, we have a lot of things that we come down with as a result of our gut not being in the place it's supposed to be, right? So, ground provisions, saltfish, cucumber salad, can't go wrong with that one too. Tossed salad and lentils. So enjoy it to your heart's delight. Also, of course, the usual sea moss flavors, including coconut, ginger, peanut, and peanut punch, and regular sea moss with flaxseed and chia seeds. And Tony, those seeds again, full of life.
Yeah.
Full of life. Yeah. The birds come around our homes. We're not even aware of that, Tony. The birds are carrying seeds in their beaks. They just drop those things there. And guess what?
Yeah.
The things start growing in your yard. Yes, Tony.
Yeah.
I have a tree there, a guava tree. I never planted that.
In the yard.
Yeah. I see the leaves shooting, branches shooting out, going over to the neighbor's side. I had to cut it.
Very interesting. I'll tell you why it's interesting. Because we, growing up in that house right there, there was never a guava tree in the yard.
That's right.
So that means you're probably right.
Yeah, the birds come around and they drop stuff all over the place there. Yeah, so you see, Tony, it's all part of the ecosystem.
Nature.
Yeah, the bees, Tony, we used to take a delight in destroying.
Yeah,
when we were kids. These are great pollinators. They just take things from one plant or tree and transport that to some other place. Boy, the whole thing is properly set up.
Definitely.
Now, Tony, when you think about that, don't you think there's a mastermind behind that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing for me. Let me say it straight up. Me personally, my opinion, there is a master builder.
The master builder.
That's right. Who created all of this?
It's just that we haven't seen this master builder. So it's just a question of you just believing it by faith.
Yeah.
And that's it. I accept it, even if I cannot prove it. I just accept it. Now, you know, Tony, even God doesn't try to convince us. You know, He says, if you want to know if I exist, just look at the heavens.
That's it.
Just take on a starry night, for example. Just look up there and see, and you'll see the wisdom that goes into putting this together, right? It's you can't even begin to explain it. King David was trying to explain how wonderful the body is, and he couldn't explain it. And all he could say, "I'm wonderfully made." That's what he could say.
There you go. Andrew, you talk about looking up in the galaxies and in the skies and all of that. I just look around me. The great creations around me, let me put it this way, created by man. Who created the man to create all of this? So you can imagine what the master builder himself is.
Exactly. But the problem, Tony, with the looking around, when I agree with you, the problem with the looking around is that we give praises to man for creating those great things. So he said, don't look at that. Look up into the sky.
Okay, got you.
Right?
Because we ain't doing nothing up there yet.
Exactly.
I got you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, man. Like I said, just creation, Andre, the animals, how the animals move. And I study these things and I'm amazed by how great this world is. I swear to you, man. That's why, I love, Andre, the human being. I love human beings. I love people, man. Whether they're good or bad. You know what I mean? Just love them, you know what I mean? And it's a good feeling when you got all that love and you want to share it with people. Andre, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, Tony, can you imagine if everybody was acting like certain people who were involved in taking of innocent lives and so on? Imagine if everybody was doing that sort of thing. So thank God there are people who, as you said, still love and people who still, Tony, very, very, very important, who still have the ability and capability to show compassion. That is one that we need so much in our world because there's so much suffering. There is so much suffering, and sometimes people are helpless. There's nothing much that they can do. So it's a beautiful and wonderful thing when you have somebody who doesn't only care about themselves, that they know that there's suffering around them, and if there's something that they can do to ease the suffering, they do it. And that's what we're supposed. So as I said, thank God for people like you and others who just love.
The thing about it, Andre, love thy neighbor as thyself. I had to kind of study that and wonder, well, how do you love thy neighbor as thyself? You said a few things to me a few years ago, in particular this one. How do you know you love, let's say, a significant other? Because your answer was everything you want for yourself, you want for that person. Am I correct?
Correct is right.
Very good. So that now, all the love that I have in me for myself, I want to give it to someone else. I love other people. That's what I'm talking about. Thy neighbor, I love you. I got mad love for you, man. And it helps me to treat people well.
Yes. And let me extend that a little further. Somebody asked Jesus Christ, who is my neighbor? That's a very good question. Who is my neighbor? And then he gave a story about a Jew and a Samaritan. And by the way, there's still a small clique of Samaritans alive today, or descendants of the Samaritans. You can go and check it out. They exist. They in Israel. That's where they live. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're still around.
Okay.
The problem was that the Samaritans were hated, and I don't want to underestimate. You see the same way Israel is getting on with the Palestinians. That sort of hate, they hated those people. And Jesus Christ used that as an example to show you how somebody, the Jew that he knew who hated him, fell into among thieves. And the thieves caught him, beat him up and this sort of thing. And here's this person that knew that the Jew hated him. So he now said, I'm not going to act like you. I'm going to be who I am, whether you like me or you don't like me. So he picked him up and cleaned him up and everything. He even took a risk of his life, Tony, to go back and try to help the guy. Because today, in today's world, we wouldn't do that. We just call the police. But he took a big risk to go and to take the guy, put him on his donkey, and take him to an inn and pay for the services. He even said, if there's anything else that you spend for him, when I'll be back in a few days' time, I will pay for it. I mean, he went all the way out. And then Jesus said to him, to the person who asked the question, go and do likewise. So that's the neighbor you see that you feel you hate, right? Or you think that hates you. This is the one you're supposed to be loving. Now that's tough.
Yes, it is.
That's really, really tough to go help somebody you know who doesn't like you. Yeah. But Tony, psychologically, it does something to you.
Yeah.
When you know you hated that person, and the person now has done you good. That freaks you out,
Yeah, definitely.
There was a guy who was going to be sentenced and have what they call impact statements during the court proceedings, where the victim's family is allowed to address you in the court. And this guy was a bad boy. This fella just stayed there all stoic. He wasn't moved by anything. There's no shedding of tears. There's no remorse on his part or anything like that. And I mean, most of the people, the family members, were excoriating that guy. You should burn in hell. You're this, you're that, and you're the other. And the guy just sat there like he didn't give a hoot. And the victim's father, he spoke, and he said, Mr. So-and-so, I know people came here and were excoriating you and so on. And I know what you did was really, really evil. But, I'm not going to do like they're doing, which is to excoriate you. I'm going to forgive you. And I'm saying to you right now, I forgive you for what you did. Tony, as soon as the man said that, the bad boy, me just broke down in the courthouse. He started crying. Yeah. So it freaked him out that a person who he destroyed his man's daughter, and for the father to say, I forgive you, boy, Tony, that is so powerful.
Most definitely.
Kim Kardashian in court last week. The guys who had attacked her, well, didn't attack her. They stole her jewelry and everything. I think up to now she has a very expensive ring. I think a $10 million ring or something, and they haven't even found it up to now. A whole bunch of old people, the people are sick. 60s, 70s. She said to them, I forgive you. Yeah.
The greatest thing you could ever do for yourself, basically, Andre, because they say it all the time, for yourself, is forgive another person. It kind of release yourself of all that hatred and the bad things that you're thinking of at the time. When you can say, I just forgive. And sometimes for me, I just say, man, just forget about that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another tough one? When somebody owes you money.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Because normally we like to extract it to go after you and to threaten you with a cutlass or kind of thing. Imagine somebody can owe you a lot of money and you in your heart there's no way that person can repay you. You know it. Now some of us, we know it, but we're still insisting.
That's right.
I want my money. I want my whatever money that we say, right? And to be able to let that go. Boy, Tony, that is tough. It's tough, but there are people who are actually able to do it. Yeah, I forgive you.
Yeah, man, definitely. Andre, kind of related to the forgiveness thing. What's the name of the movie the guy sent us? I hope you remember that top of your head. The guy sent us yesterday. Said a karate movie.
I'll have to go back and check.
Is it something about something of the masters? Something of the masters?
I'll have to go back and check.
Something, yeah.
I'll have to go back and check.
Yeah.
That's our partner from Antigua. I think
Andre,
that's that.
If that's the one, I watched that yesterday.
You did?
Andre, one nonsense. Andre, one crap. One of the things I said to myself while watching it, I say, we've been had. I catch. Andre, I kept waiting. I mean, I'm waiting. Okay, when is this going to really happen? When is this going to be the movie that the guy spoke about? So while you look for it, I mean, I really have
I don't no need for me to bother to look for that.
Maybe I watched the wrong one. You understand?
Okay.
Check it out. While you check it out, I'm just going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why I spoke about it, why I brought it up now is because of what we were talking about. We were talking about forgiveness and all of that. Maybe, Andre, for the storyline, I probably give this maybe a pass mark of from between 1 to 10, 7. For storyline, it's a storyline of forgiveness. Now, you know, everything in karate movies was
Revenge.
And, you know, I got to take revenge and all of that. And when Cheng Wan Tai was training the star, you know, to be a
Challenge of Death.
Challenge of Death.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I watched
that's
the wrong
something else.
thing. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to forward it to you then.
I'll tell you exactly what I watched. Challenge of Death. I watched Challenge of the Master. Something like that I probably watched.
You see that? It's a good thing I checked it.
Yeah, definitely, Andre. So I watched the wrong thing. Let me see. I'll give it to you. Challenge of the Master. Of course, that's what I watched. Challenge of the Masters, right?
No, Challenge of Death.
Oh, so I watched Challenge of the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Challenge of Death. Okay. All right.
So I sent it to you.
So, what's his name in Antigua? Oh, I know you're not good with names.
Oh, you know.
Right. So forgive me. Look, I'm asking for forgiveness. Please forgive me. So I looked at Challenge of the Masters. Andrew, one nonsense.
Yeah, his name is Julian.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Andrew,
Julian.
one crap. I'm like, Andrew, I watched probably half of the movie. In terms of the proper, you know, action, because karate is action and fighting. The best fight came, Andrew, maybe somewhere halfway in the movie. Other than that, just pure nonsense. I'm like, what? Okay. So, wow.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony. Yesterday, when I was in the Foreshore area yesterday afternoon, and I was on my phone at that time, and the traffic was really heavy. The roundabout there by Labord's gym and so on. The traffic was really heavy. I said, but what's going on? The traffic is heavy at this time of the day. That was like around after 2, somewhere around there, 2 maybe, somewhere around there. Okay. I said, but why is traffic so heavy?
Foreshore.
Yeah, Foreshore.
Okay.
And of course, then I'm getting, you know, closer and closer now to Slasper, etc. They're realizing a whole bunch of fellas, the truckers, were taking out there was some kind of protest. Now I was on the phone at the time, and the guys were there honking their horns, just they're honking, and I could barely even hear myself on the phone. I said, "Oh my God!" I brought up the windows, everything of the vehicle. So this morning I'm reading that the guys were actually protesting.
That's right.
Yes. Now, Tony, you know, I support protests, especially if it's done peacefully and so on. But I don't know what your take is on that. The honking of the horns, to me, you're just disturbing the peace.
Yeah.
Right? Suppose there's some sick people in the area there. You're not giving that any kind of consideration. Right? You need to think about those things. And also, by you parking those massive vehicles in that very narrow strip there, that will definitely affect the free flow of traffic. I saw the police, trying to get to the scene yesterday afternoon because no doubt traffic was just backed up all over the place. So I don't know what your take is on that. I mean, not everybody's going to agree with me, but if you're going to be protesting, to me, you should be sure that whatever it is that you're doing, it does not get other people angry or negatively impact people who are not involved. So, as I said, although sometimes for you to get your point across, you have to involve the innocent. So, I don't know.
That's exactly what I was coming to say. Sometimes you gotta be, you suffer a bit, and other people have to suffer as well, so that you can get your point across. In other words, piss people off. Yeah. Everybody. Those who are involved, those who are not involved, have nothing to do with it. Whatever. But you have to get your point across, because otherwise, you have a thing saying, you have to let people know that you're not pleased. You know who I saw in there, man? Remember Winston Spooner?
Of course, he was even talking. He spoke the most, I think.
That's right, yeah. He did.
And you remember he was a former bodybuilder.
Yeah, man.
Remember that?
Between bodybuilding and he was a security guard at Radio St. Lucia.
Right. And he still looks good.
Yeah, he looks well.
He looks well because he's kept himself. Now, now there are certain bodybuilders. You see them now, and you could tell they're not training anymore.
Right,
Tony. They develop a little punch. The skin is sagging. So that you see them, and these guys are not training.
Right.
But I believe Spooner. I think he still trains.
I doubt. I don't know why I doubt it.
Because he looks pretty solid. He looks pretty solid.
Yeah.
Maybe not as hard as he used to. Because I was talking to one of the former bodybuilders, and he was telling me what it entails keeping this thing up. And he said, he at his age there, he can't keep it up at all. He spoke about a number of things, the amount of hours of training and vitamins and stuff that he has to be taking. And he said he's done that for so many years already. Yeah, and he was one of the fellas. Tony Monsieur was a giant man.
Okay.
Yeah, massive fella. But now you see him, he's just a fraction of himself.
I'm just thinking, because when I look at Winston Spooner, I'm like, okay, it doesn't look like he's still training, but it's just that he stayed small. Well, he got small, because remember he was muscle.
Exactly.
But he got small. So I don't know what it is, but in terms of the training, probably not. I see we're moving on. Let's just
just quickly, Tony,
Okay.
just to stick on what I'm saying there. And I really want to get our listeners and viewers' take on that. If you are protesting, right, should you protest in such a way that it negatively impacts people who have nothing to do with what you're protesting about? I'd just like to hear people's take on that.
Yeah, my take quickly is what I said. Yes, indeed, the effect.
Because for me, Tony, the build-up of traffic, I had to wait unnecessarily for about another maybe a half hour, because it took time. It took time to get to my destination. Plus, I was on the phone. It was actually a business call, and the fellas there honking the horns. I had to apologize to the gentleman and say, "I'm sorry, something's going on here. The guys are honking their horns." I had to apologize for that. So I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. You remember when I think there was a protest down in Dennery? That's where Randy and the other guy were killed and so on. They had blocked the road.
Yeah.
Okay? Obviously now they want to send a point.
Right.
Going to make a point.
Right.
So you're going to take us on whether you want or not. But by blocking the road now, you are impeding the free flow of traffic.
That's right.
And unfortunately, the police were called in, and this ended up in a very, very tragic result.
That's right. So, to make the point, and for, like I say, others to be affected, so that they can say, we support you, you know what I mean? We support you. Because if you're not affected, you think, what the hell them fellas doing there, man? You know what I mean? But it affects you. It's like, okay, I kind of understand. Yeah, I'm affected, but gosh, man, look at, because other people are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, this is what affects, let's just say, the entire country. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But they have a just cause. They're talking about how things are supposed to be at SLASPA, and they're not really doing what they're supposed to be doing. They mentioned a few gripes that they have. Okay. Okay.
So like I said before you move on.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Kina. We got to mention her. She
yes.
was supposed to come in this morning. She was in, but it didn't quite work out. When you're not 100%. That's the thing, you're not 100%. And you come on in and try to come to work and you realize, can't make it.
Yeah.
So listeners, that's why, again, Kina is not here this morning as well. She is still a little unwell. We're hoping for the best and hoping maybe tomorrow, Thursday, she can come in. So I'll be holding it down until 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Yes, Tony. We're the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Gatekeepers. So Tony, I want to say bravo to the gang, which I really don't like that name for the police. That unit, the gang, narcotics and firearms.
So they're
unit.
called the gang?
Yes. In other words, I guess part of their mandate involves going after gangs and so on.
Okay.
So they call themselves the gang, narcotics, firearms, also the K9 unit and so on. But to me, for the police, we all should get another name. That doesn't, because gang is associated with stuff that's negative, unfortunately. So if I were you all, come up with another name for that segment or part of the unit. So anyway, Tony, I mean, they did a great job. They were along the Castries seaports, and Tony, these fellas were able to confiscate 17 firearms, right, and over 3,000 rounds of ammunition.
Yes.
17 firearms. So bravo.
Yes,
bravo.
Great job.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done. But Tony, there's a deeper thing here, right? You have to ask yourself, why? What are we doing with so many firearms in St. Lucia? Let's just assume these things didn't, they were not intercepted and confiscated, right? These things would be in the hands, I guess, of people who are involved in crime. I'm just assuming. Right? So what do we do with so many firearms? It's just what? Is that to prove something? that you have a firearm? Because, Tony, while we understand firearms are being used for the vast majority of the homicides, I understand that.
Yes.
I understand that.
Yes.
But, I mean, when you think of the number of firearms, I think quite a lot of these firearms probably don't even get used. Probably. Right? Because the rates of the homicides through shootings would have been a lot higher. But just think of 17 firearms arriving in the hands of 17 individuals.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? What are we doing with all those firearms?
You just have it. Because I've been trying to think.
It must,
you
it must
mentioned
represent something then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it represents something.
I'm packed. You know?
Yeah, packing.
Packing, exactly. Illegal or not. You know what I mean? Illegal, in particular, of course, it's illegal. That's why they were able to confiscate them.
Yes, of course.
Okay? So, yeah, that is exactly what it is. There are people who just have illegal firearms on them.
My gosh,
That is
man.
why when the police do the search, you know, on vehicles and so on, they find these things. And sometimes when these fellas realize the police are stopping them, they just throw that out away.
So this operation was conducted at the Castries Seaport.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say all ports, huh?
Right.
Castries Seaport.
Mhm.
And they were able to recover 17 firearms.
And check out the
Anthony,
ammunition.
you had 3,000 rounds of ammunition.
Exactly.
So you say, what did you do? What did you do with that ammunition? What you doing with that? You busting shots?
Should in case of emergency.
Yes, yeah. Why? I guess when we have a criminal mind, I guess we have a criminal mind. Because Tony, I wouldn't be thinking about having an gun,
illegal. Put it this way,
firearm.
an illegal fire. I don't mind having my firearm, but it has to be, a licensed firearm.
Mm.
You know. So these guys, I suppose, get away with it because they get it into the country somehow, and then they have it. You know, they just have it concealed some kind of way. You know what I mean? So that when they're out there, they have their thing on them. You know what I mean? So just in case.
Yeah.
Anything happens, I guess, you know. Andrew, let me put it this way. That's why I tried to take a lot of time just to while you were talking. These guys are not necessarily going to use it for crap, you know. Just to have a gun.
Just to say you have it. Yeah.
Right. Because if they apply for it for a legal firearm, it may not be granted. Think about that. It most likely won't be granted because you have to apply for the thing and they see why you need it. For example, we have a business. They would understand. Okay, you need to perhaps have a firearm, but you just there, we just allow upon you. You know, you have a job, nothing, and you're applying for a legal firearm for what? You're not that kind of way. So yeah, so it's all of that, and they figure I ain't gonna get it if I apply for it. So if I can get it illegally somehow, so just in case something were to come up, I got my piece.
Right, that's true. But Tony, think of it. If you find yourself in a scenario where you end up using that firearm, you're in trouble.
Absolutely.
You're in serious trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Because maybe you've taken a life, okay? That is a major issue already. And plus, you're going to be caught most likely with an illegal firearm. And that carries, according to what our current law says, severe penalties.
That's right.
So, Tony, I have to know, what more can the authorities do to send a message to people? Tony, if I go, as you're saying, the scenario you're painting there, I go to ask to apply for a firearm and they tell me you don't qualify, I have to accept that and do not go and purchase an illegal firearm. And that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't give me
law-abiding
citizen, right? It doesn't give me a right now to go and purchase an illegal firearm because I figure my life could be in danger or the fellas discriminated against me, so I need to have my firearm. So I'm saying I wouldn't bother with that.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't get it. But if you decide now, the scenario that you painted there, to still go just because you figure you need a firearm and to get it by illegal means, it, again, Tony, it just shows you where your thinking is.
Yeah, man, most definitely. And that's a lot of people put it this way. Yeah, man.
Don't you feel good, Tony, when you're driving on the road and the police look at you and the police give you a smile? Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
They give you a smile.
Yes, Andre.
Because not that you cannot be involved in illegal activity, but it's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
They see you, they don't know you to be involved in that sort of thing. Okay? So they'll give you a little smile. So imagine now you see the police and you know you have an illegal firearm in your vehicle, you're getting there already.
Right away. That's why a short while ago I said to you, man, you just throw that out. Especially either you throw it out, hope for the best that they don't stop you. I'm speaking like I've been there. I haven't been there, people. I'm just thinking how it probably is.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking to yourself, wait, police. The place hot. Andre, that's a phrase them fellas using,
Yes.
Place hot, boy, police hot. And they come and maybe throw it somewhere, and maybe later on pass and pick it up.
Well, boy, all I can say, I wish you all well. Okay, those of you who insist on purchasing illegal firearms, you know what the law says. At least I believe they ought to know. They ought to know. Maybe the government should go on a campaign, have a regular campaign, letting people know the penalties involved in having illegal firearms.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, Tony, I've forgotten already.
Forgotten what?
What the penalty is. I've forgotten already.
Me too.
And I know it's severe.
A while ago, you used the word severe. I'm like, okay, thank goodness, because to talk about the fines and all
yes,
that.
Yes, the fines are hefty
Mm-hmm.
fines and hefty jail time.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't remember exactly what it is.
Me too.
So I'm saying maybe again the authorities should be doing that sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
constantly reminding the public through public service announcements, etc., what the likely result will be if you engage in that kind of activity. So maybe they're taking that for granted.
Man, you need to be in government.
Or they say your government don't have money to do that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, no, what I'm saying is, you get a position, like stuff that you bring up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
People, they're probably not thinking about this. Yes, this is important. PSAs, public service announcements, regular public service announcements. So at least we ain't got to guess. And, oh, yes, I heard that just yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's XXXX, you know what I mean?
Exactly, because I've forgotten already.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep that in my head.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's called public service announcements for a reason. You ain't paying nothing for it. That's it. You know what I mean? If government decide that they want to send a few public service announcements for us, the fine or the penalty for an illegal firearm, blah, 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 you have a voice saying that.
Mhm.
Andre, for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, they say, yeah, play that. It's on.
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Radio
It's
stations, TV
on.
stations have an obligation to assist
That's
in
right.
whatever way. It's not everything that we have to get paid for it.
That's right.
Right? It's part of our civic duty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tony. The phrase, never leave the devil that you
Oh, gosh.
you know or see or whatever for the one that you haven't seen. Now, Tony, we know we hear those phrases, and these things have a way of residing, taking shape, the same shape as our psyche, and it stays there, it marinates, and it begins to live there, and it takes up residence for years and years and years, and we get to the point where we actually believe in every circumstance that makes sense.
Mhm.
All right? Now, Mr. Alva Baptiste has been the district rep for Labrie Auger, for about 20 years.
Close to 20 years. Andre, that's hard to believe.
Yes.
Because I remember before him. So you mean it's been that long? Before him was John. Not Irvin John, his brother. The big word man.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, look, I can't remember. I remember Irvin John. I can't remember the man. Velen John was there just before Alva. So Alva came in. Andre, almost 20 years already. What?
Mm-hmm.
That, when I heard it, was like unbelievable. It to me, Alva just did 2, maybe 3, and 3 5s are 15.
Yeah,
You know what I
it's
mean?
about that.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what they call a Labour Party stronghold.
Yes.
Okay? And remember, Miku had the same thing, a Flobo stronghold, and there are a few of them, a few of the strongholds. Right. So now you have Ms. Japierre trying to unseat Alva Baptiste. Okay? And she, of course, was kind of criticizing him, the representation and so on, and which, of course, she's supposed.
Oh, yes.
That's her job.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I wonder, Tony, if the reason for Mr. Baptiste and others, Tony, we could even talk about Stevenson King, for example, who's been the district rep for our constituency for many, many years.
Yes.
Many years, right? We have Dr. Kenny Anthony, district rep for many years. Who else, Tony?
The Prime Minister, the current Prime Minister.
That's the best of all
Mhm.
for many, many, many years. I'm wondering, as I said a while ago, is it a case, right, where we cling to a rep.
What we know.
Yes. In other words, the devil that we know, what we know already, to go and take a chance and to leave it now for something, always the same devil, but you don't know that one. Okay. And I guess each devil comes with their pros and cons. So I'm just wondering, when we have a strong hold, is it kind of what maybe Lotus was talking about earlier, right? The way we think, we get used to something, we don't want to let it go. I spoke about my colognes, which I love so much. Although I don't use the cologne anymore, I have the bottle on my dresser. I just have it there.
I do too. Andrew, that freak, I'm like, can you just throw this?
Yeah.
If maybe it's a case of, I really don't want you to miss your train of
go
thought.
ahead.
Maybe it's a case of, Andre, that if you throw away the bottle, you'll probably forget it because you want to purchase it again. And then, okay, that's for me then.
Well, in my case, I don't want to purchase it again.
You serious?
Yeah, I don't want to purchase it.
Wow, that was so good. I want that again.
Yeah. Yeah, I moved on already, but nonetheless, I still want to have it there.
The empty bottle.
Maybe maybe the bottle is nicely designed, so it just kind of looks pretty, right? Or maybe it makes you feel as though, well, you're heavy, you have a lot.
That one I accept. your little shelf just is
full. Yeah. Maybe it's that.
Have a loaded with cologne, and when you check that have a little class.
Yeah, and so you see, Tony, how all of us, we do not want to let go of even stuff sometimes that is not even good for us. We just don't want to let it go. So I'm just wondering, I'm not saying that's what it is, whether in the case when you have what they call these strongholds, is the stronghold more a psychological thing in the minds of people, right? You get so accustomed to something, it takes this hold of you. You can't let it go. It's really, really powerful. And even if you know you want to let it go, the mentality is, if I let it go, I'm letting it go for something I'm not sure. Right. But Tony, we know from experience that sometimes we want to hold on to certain things. I'm not with you on me, and maybe you're even forced to let it go. Even if you don't want to let it go, but you're kind of forced to let it go. Maybe it's the hand of God sometimes, Tony, that puts you in that position where you just do. Or maybe it could be a friend, a family member helping you to let go. And Tony, the number of times, I have let go of certain things. And in retrospect, I say, boy, it's a good thing, I let that thing go. Because today, if I didn't let it go, here's what the scenario would have been. Because you see it, it's there to see, right? So, I'm just, juxtaposing that against that attitude that we have when it comes to the politics, that we love something so much, we can't see ourselves ever doing without it, even if sometimes that thing is not even good for you.
Right.
Unless you're forced now.
Right.
You're forced.
Yes. It is like Landry, it's like a habit. Habits are just so hard to break. And when it comes to the politics side of things, just perhaps that's what it is. This is what I know. This is what's perhaps good for me so far. I see, and sometimes we put on our blinders, we see no fault in it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or in the representative, we see no fault there. Or the little faults we can say, well, that's just a little fault, that can pass. Because outside, one that is outside may not cut it. And sometimes, Andre, as a person or as people, we hate to try new things.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. To step out of our comfort zone,
right?
Because we feel comfortable.
Right.
We are safe. We are safe with what we have now, not knowing sometimes you just take that step, and it's a whole new vista.
Yes, sir.
A whole new
vista.
A whole new world, right, waiting for you. A whole new world of opportunity, just out there. But you're just afraid to take the step.
Yes.
Boy, the human psyche is something else.
Yeah.
It is really something else.
One of the things kind of related to what we were talking about here, I thought of, was imagine when we talk about trying new things, and you're afraid to try the new things because you're afraid of the failure.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
The embarrassment of the failure. We're afraid of that. So, you know, something, I want to stick with you.
Yes,
According to the
exactly.
song.
Exactly.
I want to stick with you, man.
I remember one time I was talking to a friend of mine, a female friend of mine, and she was telling me, you know, she's been with this guy for a long time, years, right? Two of them are together, and he wasn't treating her right. And I was saying to her, why are you staying in that environment? Why are you staying there? You by your own admission, he's not treating you right. And she said to me, Andre, where will I get better?
Right there. You know what I mean?
I was tempted to say, you're looking at it.
I like that. I like
But
that.
she was my friend. She was my friend.
Okay.
She was my friend. And so, you know, there have been situations, women, right, where same situation. They've been with a guy for years and years, and the guys would be treating them badly. But sometimes there's a certain line that the guys would cross because they get accustomed to it so much that the lady now say, you know something, I've had enough, and they're able to leave.
Yeah.
They're able to leave.
Yeah.
They have situations like that, and again, when they leave now, they begin to realize, hey, you know, look who I met.
That's right.
I would have never thought I met that guy. Now,
That's
what if you just there
right.
staying there all the while?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So talking about
Gotta be bold.
getting used to things and being bold, Tony, the agriculture minister, he made an announcement that they want to introduce an insurance scheme for banana and plantain farmers. Now, you know, again, we're talking about we used to something. We used to not having insurance, right? We used to not paying and making contributions to NIC. We're used to that already, and we're afraid to step out in faith to say, okay, let me grab this opportunity,
Right.
because it'll be to my bet, but we can't see it.
Can't see it.
We just can't see it.
Cannot see it.
And
All
we
you
just
see-
miss it.
The only part you're seeing is that you're spending some money that you
Right,
don't want to let
exactly.
go of.
Yes, yes. So that's the thing. So I want to say bravo to the agriculture minister or ministry or whatever to introduce this insurance scheme. And I am sure if I know the government, they will not try to impose it
Yeah.
on the farmers, but I'm sure they will try to encourage them.
Yeah.
I heard the president of the Craft and Dry Goods Vendors Association, Russ Iper, was talking about the new technology that the vendors have embraced, even the use of credit cards and so on. Okay, so you see what we're talking about, Tony? All the while they're afraid
To embrace.
to embrace it. They're afraid, just afraid.
Yeah.
I remember what is it? I was afraid to embrace.
Age.
No, I embraced that one. I remember when we were doing Out Goes In, and Out Goes In was just on radio, and that was like free up because you know you could do all your badness, all your bad matters, and nobody can see you. And I remember Mr. Favier came and he said, you know, Andre, even me, he admitted I was not hot on this Facebook thing, but we have to go there. And I said, Facebook? I mean, why do we have to go to Facebook? That we can't be ourselves. He said, well, Andre, you know, we just have to embrace it. This is the future. This is what it is. And reluctantly, I remember the first time when we did it live, I felt so uncomfortable doing that. But guess what, Tony? After a while, when Facebook had a problem, I vexed it.
That's right.
I vexed.
That's right.
We're not on Facebook. So what's the point in doing the show? So you see,
Embrace
even the laptop, Tony, the laptop. I admit that. Okay, I took a long time to embrace the laptop. Fellas kept telling me, Andre, the laptop is the best thing in the world.
You mean to play out?
to play.
out
Yeah.
also, yeah.
And I say, I love my CDs, and that just looks so strange to see all the fellas coming to play with their laptops.
Yeah.
And I come in there with a bunch of CDs.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to let go of the thing. You know, I felt comfortable with it.
That's right.
I used to even give them jokes because try to justify my backward thinking. Like, for example, when they come and they put on the laptop, it'll take time. Hey, when I say to them, it have to get hot.
It have to
Get hot.
Yes.
But you know, I say when I come, I just put my CD. You know?
Yeah.
So all kind of ways to justify staying in my little zone. But guess what, Tony? I said, you know something, man. Let me step out of the comfort zone and let me just try and see what this laptop thing is all about.
Yeah.
And Tony, I'm saying, but how did I ever even survive with that thing?
That's right. That's
so cool using a laptop. It's so much better, right? And easier. I mean, you all the advantages you could ever imagine. And here I was there wasting time with a laptop.
With CDs.
Sorry, with a CD. Yeah. So I hope that brings out the point I'm making this morning. That yes, I know somebody can be an MP for a long time. Okay, but we need to look at the kind of representation that we are getting. Are we happy, right, with the representation that we are getting? I'm talking about Tony across the board, across the board, not any particular constituency.
That's right.
Across the board.
Yes.
Am I happy? Is the MP helping to meet my needs, right? Am I getting proper representation? The things that affect me the most, the things that I want done the most. Is this MP capable of doing those things?
I wish we had more time to really go deeper into that.
Yeah.
Andre, I'll tell you why. Because I'm going to just make a simple point. Do we, I was going to say, do we employ a politician or an MP so that me, Tony Paul, can be satisfied? Do we do that? Or we want him to represent and do work for the country on a whole?
Because both. It's both.
Why would I satisfy me in what way?
Okay, let me
personally. I have to get something from it.
Yes. Of course, Tony. Let me give you an example. You're a single mother. Okay, you're single. I don't mean you're literally a single mother.
Of course.
We're speaking in general. You're a single mother, and you're getting, according to the law, right, $200 for a child. $200. That's what the law allows.
Meaning what?
When you say meaning, what do you mean?
Andre, the law gives you $200?
No. The child's father is obligated to give no less than $200 a month.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
You know that's just wholly inadequate. You know that for a fact. But this is affecting you and it's affecting your child.
Right.
And not just only you and your child, other females and their children, especially those who are single moms and so on. So you have to let your MP know, listen, if you're going to be asking for representation, you want to represent me, this is one of the things I want you to address. I need you to address this issue that when I'm unable, through the breakup, my child's father or whatever, that my child's father is made to understand that you can't just be dropping $200 and you can do better than that, right? That you are capable of giving a lot more. But because of the fact that you figure that's the law, that's what you're doing, and then you're allowing me as the mother to suffer, the child to suffer. So I'm saying to you, that's a personal thing, right?
I understand what you've said.
So you're benefiting from that.
I agree, and also I guess by extension, it would be made into law for all single mothers, so to speak.
Yes, of course, everybody will benefit.
Right.
Yeah. So you love horses. You love horses. You love to play with horses. You love to groom them. You love to take care of them. Whatever, you personally. But there's no scope for that in the country. There's no place you can go and work as a horse keeper, a horse take care of her, that sort of thing. You just, the opportunities are not there, and you have those skills. So your MP or potential MP comes to you and you say, well, if you want me to vote for you, how about you thinking of opening a horse racing center or something? I'm just speaking off the cuff, right? So that's for you personally. There's nothing wrong with that. And of course, you have the bigger picture. You have for the rest of the country. There's nothing wrong with that. You've been affected. You have your road, Tony, the road leading to your house. You don't have a footpath. You don't have a bridge. A whole bunch of stuff which affects you, directly impacts you, your children, your family, right? You have to speak about those things. When you want to represent me, well, I need a footpath. I need a bridge.
So that's Andre Paul. Then Tony Paul wants something else.
Yes, correct, is right.
And this one wants something else, and that one wants something else.
Once it is something that is reasonable, okay, the MP ought to respond to that. So say there's the bridge, there's no bridge in the area there, and your child have to now find some way to get across the river. They have to go through the river to remove their shoes. I'm just giving that as an example. All right. So you speak and say, hey, I need you to address that. So you benefit from it directly.
Okay, got you.
All right. Shout outs time.
Okay, let's go to the WhatsApp platform first, as always. I kind of wished that I mentioned that it was available. I'm going to cut no more style. Get the extra help. All right. In terms of checking in first, at 13 minutes after, 6 past the hour, I think the first one came in. So let me just take a look at it. It says, bless up, Rev Up fam. Andre, Tony, and Kiki. Hope that you are feeling better. Mwah. See you guys soon. Joanna B., which is Joanna Boudou.
Yes. So on behalf of Kina, Kina still can't make it.
That's right.
Unfortunately.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Unfortunately, she's a warrior. She's a warrior.
She is indeed.
Yeah, she's a warrior.
She is indeed.
But times the warrior hour.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. When the body says, "Hey, man, you've pushed me as far as I could go. Can't do it no more." All right. All right. This Josiane. Josiane says, "Good morning, Rev-Up family. Hi, Jos. Good morning to you."
Morning, Josie.
And of course, John Q, just give a big shout out to you. And again, we do appreciate it very, very much. You sending us the messages and checking for us. Okay. This one says, "Good morning, Rev-Up family. I have been listening from morning as usual."
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We appreciate it. That is from the Weatherman.
Hey, Weatherman. Today I played a song that he just released. Sexy Girl.
Okay, as you say that, right? Okay, that's cool. That's really, really cool.
Man, that's a nice. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
All right, I'll check it out later.
Because normally it's a sort of like a little groovy kind of thing.
Yes,
his
different.
Style,
his style.
It's different. Yeah. I like it.
Speaking of Weatherman, Running Man. You got something from Running Man?
I don't know if he sent me anything, but I know he came to the studio a few days ago.
Oh, okay.
And we're talking. So he released something?
He released something.
Okay.
Bit of a groovy soca kind of thing.
Okay.
So he says this year he will be competing.
So he sent it to you?
I think he sent it to me. I haven't checked this yet.
Okay.
He said he sent it to our info as well. Yeah, so I'm hoping that once it's there, that we can get it into our system.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Okay, this person is sending something here that says, protests aim to raise awareness about specific issues. Expert pressure on decision makers and mobilize public opinion towards desired change. Wow. Now, they serve as a way for individuals and groups to voice their dissent, express demands, and seek redress for perceived injustices. Protests can be a powerful tool for social and political change, influencing policy and driving reform. That is like, whoa. You know what I mean? Let me put it this way, well written, you know what I mean? Thank you for that. All right, because remember we spoke about the protests, right? All right.
So what are they saying in effect?
You think I understand what I read? I don't. I'm trying to understand you.
I didn't get it.
All right. You want me to read it again?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Let's just say read for comprehension. I could do it, but
no, that's okay. We have to move on.
I was kind of shocked. I was like, whoa, okay, you know. All right. So the next one reads, "Good morning, Tony and Andre. Talking about movies. What about the rivalry between Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef? The good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's right.
Great Western movie.
It is.
For sure. All right. That one was today. No, nothing there on that one today. Thanks for accepting my call. Did he call this morning?
Yes, he did, of course.
Yeah, well, every show, boy.
Yes, I really do appreciate him. I really, really do.
Okay. He asked this morning, Andre, have you ever considered being a judge at a Queen show? I wonder why would he ask that? Something you said this morning or something on this morning's show?
He said that this morning, Tony?
I'm seeing that's what it reads. Is it this? Yeah, I think it's this morning. Today it came in at 10:14.
Yeah. I don't recall him asking.
No, not on the program. You know, he's just sending this now.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And he says, "Challenge of Death is a great movie. Wang Tao, Mr. Cool, Chang Yi." Yeah. So I'm gonna check it out. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Chang Yi. So Chang Yi must be the chief crook in that. All right. I'll definitely check it out. All right. The next one reads, "Good morning to my favorite people. Oh, how I love y'all. And St. Lucia's best radio station, Rev-Up. A special good morning to my father, Andre. My father, Andre Boy. Much love from Nadej."
Oh, hey, Nadej. Yes, in Dennery.
Okay.
Yeah. Adopted daughter.
Adopted daughter.
Yeah.
All
Remember Jacques-Claude? Jacques-Claude is her brother.
Oh.
Right. Jacques-Claude was the one who was ill and so on.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the story?
Big time.
And by the way, he passed.
I remember that.
He passed.
Yes.
He passed.
Yes.
So that's his sister.
Okay.
So basically, they've kept in touch ever since.
Okay. Hi, Nadej. All right. She continues. Oh, you're killing me, Tony. The place hot. The way you said that. Andre, that's what I'm supposed to be saying. Boy, the police hot. You know?
It's true.
Thank you, Nadesh. All right.
All right, Nadesh, have yourself a nice day.
This one reads, good day to the Paul brothers. Love to listen to the two of you discussing everything that's happening, and especially when you crack jokes and laugh. Tony's laugh is so infectious. Get well, greetings to Kina, my dear. Get well soon. Missing your sweet voice. Wednesday blessings to Mrs. Mary Alexander of Bellevue and Mrs. Linda Jabatis of Reunion Choiseul from Tekla Auger of Vieux-Fort. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Tekla.
1 second, Tony. There's a movie with Clint Eastwood and Lee Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
It's called A Fistful of Dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Right, brother man, I cannot get that. I've tried it on YouTube already. I cannot get it. That's a good movie with Clint Eastwood. I can't get it. You just get a little piece of it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Okay.
You don't get the entire movie. But I love the story in that movie. I love the story, and I always want to see that movie again. So I tried. I can't get it. It's called A Fistful of Dollars. You remember that? You remember that one?
I probably.
I'm sure the name rings a bell.
Yeah, the name rings a bell for sure.
Yeah, Fistful of Dollars.
Right, but
A Fistful of Dollars.
A Fistful of Dollars. Right. Yeah, Lee Marvin, you said?
Lee Marvin.
Okay.
Remember him, right, Tony?
Yeah, I remember Lee Marvin really, really well.
Yeah.
You remember one of the big movies? A whole bunch. There were a few of them.
He's in a few. Usually those war movies.
Right.
He was in that.
I'm thinking Magnificent, not Magnificent Seven, not Magnificent Seven yet. But anyway. Yeah. So, moving right along.
Yes, of course.
All right. Ropina says, "Good morning, Rev-Up family."
I was thinking about it the other day.
Really?
Yes, I said, but I wonder what she's up to. I haven't heard from her in a little while.
Yeah, you've never met her, right?
No.
Yeah, Ropina in Canaries.
Yeah, and I drive past there when I'm on my way down to Choiseul all the time. I think of her, honestly, when I drive in the area.
Really?
Yeah, she actually crosses my mind.
Okay, so Rupina, I'm hoping that you heard this because her shout out came in at 10:53, which is not too long from now, come to think of it. All right? Andrew, the names that we were trying to remember, Randy and Julius Joseph.
Yes,
right.
Yes, correct is right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
AP, can you remember exactly what happened the very first day y'all went on Facebook Live? It had to do with the cleaner. I don't know if it's here or he was referring to HTS.
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
The cleaner.
Yeah, the cleaner. Don't know. Moving right along. Blessed morning to all. Please read read housing. Another hurricane season is approaching. Please read. Oh, please read housing. Another. Well, okay. All right. Another hurricane season is approaching. Well, that's for sure. We mentioned that earlier. Thank you for that. Rev up, my brothers from another mother. I'm in the house. Happy midweek to both of you. That, of course, is coming from Nicholson, otherwise known as Nikki Shallery.
All right, Nikki. Nice hearing from you, partner, as always.
All right. This next one reads, good morning to you, Andre and Tony. Can you please say hello to Kina? Hope that you will be better soon by God's grace. Send her to kisses, please. Send her some kisses, please. Mwah. Mwah. They just sent the kisses to her there. All right, let's get with this next one. Still on the WhatsApp platform. It reads, good morning, AP and TP. Kina, hope you feel better. This is from Julietta.
Okay, Julietta, thank you very much.
We do appreciate it. All right, so the person said, Andre, it was HTS that they were referring to.
Okay, but the cleaner.
Yeah, something about the cleaner. All right, fistful of dollars. I think the person sent you that. Somebody sent you the fistful of dollars thing. Did they send that to you, or you just remembered it on your phone?
Somebody actually sent it to me.
Okay,
the name of the movie.
I'm seeing it here too. Fistful of dollars, a fistful of dollars, Wild West, Western action movie, English, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And the person says,
on YouTube you only get like a little part of the movie. You don't get the entire thing.
Andre,
I've tried.
That's like the Poseidon Adventure. Recently,
the original.
The original. I've been looking for that recently, Andre, on YouTube, and I can't find it. I'm like, how
piece
come?
you get in. Yeah.
I'm like, how come? You know what I mean? Andre, I just wanted, because we saw this
when we were kids.
Yes, exactly. And I'm like, this movie was so great for me. You know what I mean? A great movie. Hell Upside Down, the Poseidon Adventure. You know what I mean?
It was powerful.
Andre, I would love as an adult to really relax and watch that.
I agree, Tony. I agree with you.
Yeah, man.
I agree with you. So you've tried it on YouTube already?
On YouTube, I can't find it.
Yeah. And you figure that should be there.
That should be there. You know what I mean? Those are classics, man. You know? Real classics.
It's a great movie, actually.
What?
The original.
Oh,
There was like a
man.
remake of it,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
It was okay. It was all right.
Yeah.
But nothing like that original.
What?
That was a powerful movie.
Oi.
Considering it, Tony, where technology was at that time,
Mm-hmm.
it was powerful.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Powerful, man.
What? I just wish, Andre, like I said, as an adult, I could just relax, watch that movie. You know what I mean? With all the storyline and the action. And what I love about movies, Andre, sometimes is the acting. You know, how people carry their lines and how they, I mean, just the acting. I look at for that a lot too.
Yeah, when somebody can act in such a way that you actually believe.
That's right. And you're feeling
yeah,
for them.
you're
Sometimes
feeling it, yeah.
you reach like tears. You know what I mean?
Man.
You're reduced to tears because you're watching and you're so involved in what they're doing and you're seeing as though it's real.
Tony, sometimes the people are crying in the movie and there's phlegm coming from their
That's
nostril.
right. That's
what?
right. That is acting. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, this person says, "Blessed love." That's the full movie. Kiki, we miss you. Have a great, wonderful day. All right. Then we move to the next one. Alton Basie Robinson. Hi, Alton. What's happening, man?
Hey, Alton. All the best, my friend.
All right. Yeah, I think he sent it. Yes, he also sent that, the fistful of dollars.
We did.
Right.
I want the movie.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
want the
That's what
movie.
you want. Yeah. All right. This is it. Yes, yeah. That's what the last person sent as well. You know, if it is, I will gift it to you,
Oh,
Andre.
lovely.
This is what the last person sent.
If it is what? If it is.
That's all.
Or maybe if it's the movie that
Right.
yeah.
Fistful of dollars. Right.
That'd be very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to watch it.
Okay.
And while you're at it, get the Poseidon Adventure.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Get that one, man. Yeah. The Poseidon Adventure is what it's called. All right. Starring Ernest Borgnine.
Right, that's right.
One of the main actors in there.
And I remember there was a chubby lady as well.
That's right. She was really good in that movie.
Good
as well,
actress.
man. You remember the part where she was swimming and so on? Oh, Andre, I
was
vaguely remember it, but I'd give anything to see that movie. I swear to you. All right. Oh, the person said Netflix. So I
Netflix?
guess we can go on Netflix and probably find these things.
I don't think so. Netflix wouldn't have that.
Ah.
Well, I could try.
Yeah,
but
give it a shot.
I rather doubt it, but I'll try.
Okay. All right. So Andre, that was the last one on the
What's up?
WhatsApp platform. So let's roll with Facebook right away and say good morning to Dakota McGuire Cleveland Seeley. Hi, Dakota. Good morning.
Morning,
to you.
Dakota.
Checking in first with us this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by Elvin J. Team Workers, and the eyes have it, Elvin. The eyes have it. Sharon Peter checked in and says, "Happy Hump Day, Rev Up." Thank you,
yes,
Sharon.
it's Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. And good
Morning, Sharon.
Good morning to you.
Yeah.
All right. Melanie Destine says, "Pleasant Wednesday morning to all. Keena, hope you feel better today." Joan Shallery says, "Good morning, Andre and Tony and everyone listening." Lots of kisses from Joan Shallery.
Okay, John.
Elvin J. Team Worker says, "Team Gamshan." Okay, Team Gamshan. All right. Meaning the Calypsonian. Yeah, from the South Calypso tent.
What about him?
I guess just bigging him up.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, because he did perform, I think, last week, Saturday.
Yeah, South Calypso tent, right?
That's right. All right, Tessina Lovelace. Hi, Tessina. Good morning and welcome. She says, "Good morning, Paul Brothers. Get well soon, Keena." Mwah.
Mm-hmm.
Sending a love and kisses to Keena.
Dicaphone Tell You has a nice calypso, actually.
The one you played this morning?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, my is it called My Leader or something like that?
Something like that, yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Barbara Gustin says, "My favorite brothers, good morning, and all in the chat room. Share the link." Thank you so much, Barbara. Marie Alfred says, "Good morning, Andre and Tony, and everyone that is listening from New Jersey." Thank you, Marie. We do appreciate it from New Jersey.
Okay, Marie.
All right, Madeline Alexander says, "A blessed, wonderful morning to everyone. Be safe, my people."
You as well, Madeline. Thanks as always for checking us out. Appreciate that.
Right on. Lucita Jean-Pierre says, "Good morning, Andre and Tony Paul."
Morning, Lucita. Hope all is well.
And beautiful Keena.
Mm-hmm.
Get well soon. Mwah, mwah. Wednesday blessings to all.
I
Thank
spoke
you,
with
Lucita.
Joella yesterday, Tony.
No way.
Yeah, we did. We spoke.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's sweet.
She said she'll be back at the appropriate time.
Good.
She'll be back.
Looking forward to you, my dear. All right, so Lucita came right back and said, "Good morning, everyone on the live and Radio Garden. Share the link. As always, Andre, Doctor in the house. Great show. People, listen to that show, man. Interesting."
Mm-hmm. Last night was pretty good, actually, Tony.
I was right there for a little while.
Okay, you listen. Yeah, discovering why you were born, what what is your purpose here. That was powerful last night, man.
That's right. Yeah, man.
And was very engaging.
Oh yeah, you were indeed.
Yeah, very, very engaging. Yeah.
What I liked a lot about it, as you're almost like the host, guest host kind of thing, and of course, facilitator, etc., etc. Because what I liked was that you would come with questions and you say, okay, but we have to break. After the break, we'll come back with the answers. That was really cool. You know what I mean? All right. Madeline. Madeline says, I hope I didn't miss any. Right. Okay. So from Lucita, Madeline came right back and said, you can add your own alcohol in your CMOS. Very true. Yeah, very, very true. All right. But that ain't going to happen. Not now. I'll save some for maybe on the weekend. By the way, you said yesterday, Andrea, doctor's orders. Nah, man, my own orders. Yesterday you said doctor's orders.
Okay.
I'm not having any.
All right.
My own. I just decided, something? A break ain't going to hurt. All right? And it feels good, by the way. Nancy Graceland. Okay, Lucita, I'm missing it. The gorge means rum buddy. It's not good. Slow down. You like that? Yes, Lucita, I've slowed down. In fact, I've stopped completely until the weekend. Nancy Graceland. Hey, Nancy. Tony, your face looks so nice and glowing when you don't drink. Keep it up. Oh, God, I'll tell you what. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll tell you what. Next week, Monday, when I get here, I'll pretend like I had no alcohol and tell me I'm still looking well. All right, Lucita came right back. I love lentils, high in fiber, good iron. That's what Lucita says.
So Tony Alton says he's looking for Poseidon Adventure for you,
Okay, that would be great, man. But the only thing, Andrew, when they send it on my phone, I have to hold my phone like that and watch a movie. Ain't happening.
Yes.
Sorry, Alton, I hope you heard that. I'm not going to hold my phone in my hand and watch a movie for an hour and a half, 2 hours. That ain't happening.
That's what the young folks do.
Andrew, I saw Steve at Radio St. Lucia. I saw Steve do that, in particular, karate movies. Steve had his phone in his hand, man, and Steve watching karate movies. Tell me, boy, watching a karate movie. When I come here karate, you love his part already. Yeah, man. All right, Madeline says, I eat all beans. Good for you, Madeline.
Oh, Madeline, wonderful.
Lucita Jean-Pierre Bourdieu, all the unhealthy foods Jerome love. Why? Andre, talk to your brother. It's just me, my dear. It's just me. Now, when I mentioned about the macaroni thing, it was kind of a joke. We have this joke about my favorite fruit is macaroni. So that was a joke. That was a joke, man. You know what I mean? I'm just having to be honest. Y'all understand me yet, Missy? It's fun I have in. All right. Madeline says, everything birds eat that have seeds and they poo it. I hope that's what it is. They say they poo it. That will grow. Okay. All right, Madeline, let me see if I can understand what you're saying here. Everything birds eat that have seeds and they poop it, that will grow even better than when we plant them. Tony, you learned something new today. All right, Madeline, I do. So they eat the seeds and they poo the seeds. I tell you, boy. Okay, Agneta St. Marie. Agneta, hi, good morning. She says, bonjour, guys. Thank you, Agneta. Nancy Graceland, Andre, great show last night with Dr. Siraj.
Oh, that's nice, man.
Rev-Up is definitely a cut above the rest. Keep it up, guys. You guys have some great shows. Thank you, Nancy Graceland. It's much appreciated. Cynthia Hines says, protests are meant to bring awareness to others and get others involved. I like that.
You want to or not?
I like that, Cynthia. Yeah, man. All right. Tekla Renee says, yes, Andre, you have to make people uncomfortable to get the message across. Yes. So remember you asked about that, right? How other people feel about, the inconveniences that happens when protest action takes place. So there you go. The answers are coming in right there.
Well, I hope if that ever happens to you, it's not on a day that you have a real severe tummy ache and you want to go. You want to go, and you want to go, right? I hope so.
Boy, I tell you, Andre, yeah. All right, Pius Snappy, yeah, man. Pius says, good morning, Rev-Up. Thank you, Pius. Good morning to you as well. Barbara Augustine, get well soon, Kina. I'm trusting everything will work out for you. That's from Barbara Augustine. On her behalf, we're hoping for the best as well. Timothy Arthur says, do the unit investigate the origin of these illegal guns and prosecute those people? Good question. Honestly, really, really good question. Wested Wet, I blame in the people who pack it and ship it. That too, I suppose. But if there is a request for it, you understand? The illegal firearms thing, okay? Wested Wet, they can trace where it is coming from. Wested Wet, good job by our law enforcement team. Bravo, RSLPF. Wested Wet, these firearms are all part of the drug trade. Elsa Hippolyte, good morning to you. Greetings, my Paul brothers and all in the chat room. Speedy recovery, Keena, and have a fantastic day.
I think, Tony, I can understand now why we aren't able to get Poseidon Adventure and Fistful of Dollars. The movie is not available for showing here.
In St. Lucia?
Yes. Alton sent both. I tried opening both, and it says... okay, let me tell you exactly what it says. So maybe that would explain what's going on. Let me tell you exactly what it says. The uploader has not made this video available to your country. So that's why we can't get it.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that.
That does happen. Yeah. Even on you mentioned it a while ago. The other platform. Netflix, right. There's some movies, you see Netflix advertising it. When you try to watch it here, you can't get it.
Okay.
I don't know why it's that way. So the uploader has not made this video available for your country.
Okay.
Wow, amazing.
All right, Peacemaker, hi, good morning to you. Good morning, my Paul brothers. Blessings to you too. And good morning to all who is watching and listening to our favorite guys. One love. All right. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much. Peacemaker, I'm late. Just busy making my moolah, but still love y'all. Have a mwah day. Thank you so much, Peacemaker. Peacemaker, Keena, my darling, how are you doing, sweetheart? Some of my love to you, sweetheart. All right, I guess maybe send some of my love to you. All right, well, dear, Well Growth Farm Products. All right, Well Growth Farm Products. Morning, brothers, Paul brothers, and Keena. Kiki, missing your voice, missing you, all three of you together. Tony and Andre, please send Kiki kisses from us. Thank you so much. We will send her the kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Clara Sammy says, wonderful Wednesday to Rev-Up family. Thank you, Clara. Good morning to you. Clara also says, speedy recovery to Kiki. Thank you for that as well on her behalf. Wested Wet, good morning. Wested Wet, embrace change. Wested Wet, CDs have become obsolete. Very true. Wested Wet, very good conversation, gentlemen. Thank you so much for that, Wested Wet as well. Peacemaker says, my brothers, I'm sorry I can't listen to y'all all the time. Bear with me. That's understandable. You know what I mean? We're not robots. We have things that we have to do on a daily basis. Andrew, when some people say, well, I listen to y'all every day, that ain't true. Somehow, you know what I mean? You have things that you do, you know what I mean? You miss it sometimes. All right, Well Growth Farm Products. This show is hands down the best on the island. No question about it. You got the three top radio personalities in St. Lucia, Keena, Andre, and Tony.
Wow.
The vibe, the energy, the laughter, connection is unmatched. Hard drive is like our breakfast club, KTD.
So who's in that?
That was sent by Well Growth Farm Products. Yeah.
Well Growth Farm Products.
Yes.
Interesting.
Very, very much so. Madeline came right back and says, not I, but all of us in the community. It should not be a one-person thing, because when you work for the community, everyone benefits. I like that. I think that's well said. Basically what Andrew was saying as well. Wested Wet, it looks like the teachers were fired when they were pregnant and not married, but this was changed by Dr. Kenny D. Anthony. Peacemaker says, Kiki, God haven't given you what you can't bear, honey. You will get at the end of the tunnel soon. That's Peacemaker. Soulful Ascension. Tony and Andre, morning. Kiki, missing your voice, girly. Get well soon. Mwah. Kingsley Armstrong, The Dirty Dozen. All right.
That's another movie.
Yes, that's right.
Dirty Dozen.
The Dirty Dozen.
Hey, the Kingsley.
Wait a second. I think that's the one that I mentioned with Lee Van Cleef. I suspect maybe that's what it was. Not Lee Van Cleef, sorry. the other guy, Lee Marvin.
Mhm.
Maybe Lee Marvin. Maybe
Probably.
the Dirty Dozen. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dirty Dozen. I think.
Thank you very much, Kingsley.
That's
Thanks a
right.
lot, partner.
All right. Really appreciate it. Well Growth Farm Products. It's on Netflix. A fistful of dollars.
It is?
That's what not West Edward. Well Growth Farm Products said.
And that's a local, well, sorry, that person is
I think
messaging from St. Lucia.
I think so. The person didn't specify where they were from, but I think it's probably.
I will
St.
certainly
Lucia.
go and try later today.
Mhm.
I'll try. Mhm.
Rockwell St. Marie, blessed day to TP and AP. Get well soon, Keena. Thank you very much for that. West Wet, by the way, sorry for not greetings, you guys. Sorry for not greeting you guys. I am not that Sames. A pleasant day, morning, and have a great day. No problem. We understand that. Siobhan Matthew says, the man, Tony Paul. Thank you, Siobhan. Have a great day yourself. Septima Joseph says, good morning, Kiki. Junior Cornibut says, a wonderful morning to you, Andre and Tony. Speedy recovery to you, Keena. Wishing you guys a spirit-filled day. Always a pleasure. From Juju of Odsa. Thank you, Juju. Have yourself a really blessed day as well, all right? Tekla Renee says, Andre, I live in Canada. We have, okay, maybe the protest thing, but the person wrote protected all the time. I have to find a place to poo and make myself comfortable. All right, so it's the protest thing that the person wanted to put. Yes. So, all right, Tekla Renee. All right, thank you, Tekla.
In other words, the protest wouldn't stop them from
pooing.
Yeah, they'll find a place.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Is it Sidoni LKK? Sidoni LKK SIDONINE. Okay, watching from that's in Chris. I said Natty well, Chrissy, Andre. Whoa, okay.
Oh, that's our Chris. That's our Chris.
Oh, okay. All right, hey, Chris. All right. I Virginia Kitwana, Andre. It is the same thing here too. There are some shows that we just can't watch as well.
Ah, there we go.
Imagine
there
that.
There we go. Okay.
Ronald James. So, Andrew, we're almost done. 2 more to go. Ronald James says you can purchase a fistful of dollars on Amazon. And Wested Wet says, and Andre, the boy. Wested Wet, I don't understand what it is. Andre, the boy. Yeah. That's it, Andre. We're done.
Alrighty. Wonderful. Okay, Tony, so what do you have coming up on the show today?
Actually, I have no idea. I'll try to see if I could do the usual, one-hit wonder, and because, again, I'm totally unprepared. Had to do some stuff this morning, so I came in here.
And I think we need to explain, because we're expecting Keena to come in today.
That's right.
Yes, so that's why Tony's a little out of sorts.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to go to Plan B.
Plan B it is. All right, so I think I can cut it. The one-hit wonder, the hit of the day. I tried the thing she does yesterday, Andre.
The riddle?
The riddle. Nobody called her.
Really? Serious?
Nobody called her.
That was so difficult.
So I'm like, hey, I just give them a little bit of time, and I'm like, hey, man, I gotta move on. Let's go.
Yeah. Wow, imagine that.
I was gone in a gypsy. So yes, I'm not going to try today again. Totally unprepared, like the song says. Totally unprepared. I am.
So what about Rev-Up the Homegrown now? What's going to happen?
That's back this evening at 7 o'clock.
So you'll stay up until 7?
Stay here until 7? Oh, wow, Padre. Remember, I'm here till 3.
Right. Okay. Okay, so at least you have a couple hours to to relax.
Eat something. You know what I mean? So it's going to be tough. But
okay,
somebody's got to do it.
Not me. Yeah, so it's true. I don't think I know of any other announcer who stays on the air for 7 hours plus.
No. That's unheard of.
Yeah,
that's unheard of.
Anybody does that?
Nobody.
Yeah.
That's why, Andrew, this job is maximum for. Well, okay, before maybe 5 hours, Andrew. 4 hours a day, Andrew, because this is pure concentration.
That's right.
Right through for all these hours. When you're done there, your brain tired.
Tell me about it.
And that one is a tough one. You see the brain tired, Andre? Whoa.
Okay, folks. So this has been Wake Up and Live for today, Wednesday, the 28th of May. Thank you so much, those of you on Facebook, YouTube, X, of course, DBS. Thank you so much for joining us. We certainly do appreciate you. We love your company, and that we hope we can keep this vibe going as long as is possible, right? I might tell you, retirement is not in my vocabulary. It does not exist.
Yeah. Earlier when I talk about you embracing the age, when I spoke about you embracing the age, and so you say, yes, you have embraced the age, I'm like, yeah, the thought crossed my mind, you ain't retiring soon.
No way, Jose. Yeah, man. I said already, I hope the good Lord will hold back. You see the thing about going to the grave? Just give me some time still.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some time.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the good Lord will hear my prayer and answer that prayer.
Yeah.
Around 100, so then it's all right. I can depart. I can depart.
A whole 100?
100, yeah, 100. Yeah, after that, then I can leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because at that time, Nairobi should be fairly, on her own kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
around that time. Yeah, and of course, at that time as well, we can pass on our business to Hassani,
Yes.
etc.
Yes.
You understand? And you feel comfortable there. You can now time for you to exit.
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
I already know. I already know.
Yes, sir. So, folks, until tomorrow morning, same time, 5 o'clock. Have yourself a great day. Keep it locked to Rev-Up St. Lucia. Tony's going to be with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. From 3 is going to be Zen the DJ from 3 until 6. And then Tony makes a return tonight for Rev Up the Homegrown from 6
p.m.
until 7.
Yes,
all right?
sir.
So do enjoy the rest of your day. Andrew Paul saying so long. Bye-bye.
The Puto Council presents Puto on the Rise, a grand fundraising event for community development on Saturday, the 31st of May 2025 from 6 p.m.